Here's to the straggly ones, the lopsided ones, the first ones, the I miss my beard ones, the hey, I look good with this ones, the he's never grown that in them weak ones, the black, brown, red and grey ones, the oh whoa, that one, the itchy ones, the never forgotten ones, the ones grown by Dad, the ones grown for Dad, the started late ones, the absolutely filthy ones, the drawn on ones, the finger ones, the badge ones, the I nearly didn't do it this year ones, and the yeah, why not ones. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Sign up now at Movember.com.
I'm CTWE wrestler The Mac.
And I'm Showtime Stevie Stamos.
Have you ever dreamed of owning your own race car and taking it out for a test drive? Well, thanks to our friends that Rent a Race Car, you can!
Visit www.rentaracecarne.com for all the details on how you can take one of these babies out to Stafford Motor Speedway. We'll see you at the races.
Touchdown!
Have you seen my kick-ass subscription box anywhere? Oh, there it is.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back here to Vidane TV, here with the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Group, NEPS for short, for the Teddy Christopher Mike Stefanik Memorial Race here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. As always, I'm your host, Showtime Paul Strickland Jr., and alongside me, at least momentarily for a little bit of this race here, Kevin England doing double duty here tonight on Vidane TV and the Sim 500 network, so we're going to have to dip out just a little bit partially way through here. But Kevin, how you feeling tonight, man?
Hey, I'm good to go. Good to see you, Paul. How are you doing?
Not too bad. We got you all caught up with some notes here. Like you said, the Teddy Christopher Mike Stefanik Memorial 55 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, brought to you by RDA. We do want to give a little bit of love there to Resource Development Associates. In the life of a business, there's few opportunities to get something for nothing. With Resource Development Associates, this is actually one of them. RDA helps companies reduce operating costs in unexpected ways based on the expertise and the dynamics of the business efficiency. They study the business operations and develop strategies to reduce costs along three primary channels: conserving energy, energy costs, and improving workforce efficiency, and planning the sustained growth and stronger fiscal performance. Remarkably, thanks to funding programs built on our unique business model, our clients pay nothing out of pocket for RDA's services. So definitely be sure to check those guys out on the web. Do a quick search for RDA, and they pop right up. So pretty excited here. We've got 55 laps here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, just getting qualifying wrapped up. These guys usually qualify for about 5 minutes or so, and then they kind of advance the session, get everybody going. Just gives everybody an opportunity to make sure that the server's all good to go, the cars are all good to go, and the drivers are all good to go.
Yeah, and I couldn't think of a better track to pay homage to Teddy Christopher and Mike Stefanik. New Hampshire, this is their stomping grounds. It's an incredible racetrack for these cars, and really going to see an exciting race here because these drivers know what they're competing for.
Absolutely. All these guys are pretty much from the northeast portion of the country. A lot of Connecticut, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, a few New Jersey drivers in here as well. Some drivers all the way up in Maine, running for Team Maine up there, so it's pretty cool to see that as well. A lot of guys up here from Ted Christopher and Mike Stefanik's neck of the woods, and they all grow up at the short track. Stafford, Waterford, Thompson, Riverside, all the other short tracks that are up here in the New England area. So really cool to see. These guys are going to be racing really hard, trying to get a little bit of hardware, get a little bit of a trophy action at the end of it, but really going after the bragging rights for this memorial race.
Yeah, the funny thing, Paul, about sim races is a lot of them are on the younger side, but several of us, like us generation, we knew, we watched, we saw Stefanik, Christopher race for real in different tracks all across the Northeast. They were both wheelmen, and for sure, everybody knows, the heritage of this and this racetrack. What an incredible place to put on this type of race. It's not dissimilar to, say, a Milwaukee Mile, and we saw some races at different tracks like Martinsville, whatever, 2 long straightaways, 2 sharp turns. But the flatness of this racetrack makes it a driver's track, and both Christopher and Stefanik, drivers. Those guys just knew how to get around any racetrack, and again, I'm excited to see what the NEPS team is going to bring here to New Hampshire tonight.
Absolutely. These guys always put on a fantastic show. A lot of real racers in here. A lot of guys that run Stafford Motor Speedway. I've met a lot of these guys, which is always pretty cool, being able to walk into the racetrack there at Stafford Motor Speedway, walk into the pit gates and rocking a Vidane TV t-shirt, and all of a sudden there's people coming from all the way in the back. Hey, Vidane TV! So really cool. Kind of get myself a little 15-minute of fame action there at the real racetrack. Been going there with the Rent-A-Race Car guys for 5 or 6 years now. So it's been a while since I've been going to the racetrack.
Yeah, and all the drivers of this region know this racetrack. You get someone like Ryan Preece, who's in the Cup Series, comes to this track. This is his hometown haunt. This is their Daytona Speedway, and I'm positive that a lot of these drivers, if you are a driver or a huge fan in the Northeast region, your Mecca, one of your places would be this racetrack. For us, living down in the New Jersey region, we used to go to Nazareth, we used to go to Pocono, we used to go to Dover and get our fill of it. And for these drivers up there, this is their home track.
Absolutely. And a lot of these guys, you want to claim the home track advantage, but you also you really want to win in front of your hometown crowd and hometown fans and all that stuff because, well, they're the ones buying the t-shirts, so it's pretty cool to see that. We do want to give everybody a shout-out here. Thank you so much for welcoming Vidane TV into your homes this evening, whether you're watching in your bedroom, your living room, up there on the big screen, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. We're on all of them. We're even on Twitter now, thanks to Corey Casagrande. Finally talked me into opening up the old Twitter feed. Check it out there, and be sure if you've got a smart TV, download the YouTube app and search for Vidane TV, and you can pick up all of our broadcasts in 1080p, and it looks absolutely fantastic. But if you're having yourself a little viewing party, be sure to snap off a picture, give us a thumbs up, post it on social media, join the conversation using hashtag Vidane TV. Do have about a minute and a half here, Kevin, left in qualifying, so we do want to give a quick shout out here to one of our sponsors at Vidane TV, Rent-A-Race Car, based out of Berlin, Connecticut. Now, Rent-A-Race Car is currently booking rides for the 2021 season at Stafford Motor Speedway. If you've ever wanted to try your hand at wheeling a real race car and been unsure where to start, look no further. Rent-A-Race Car likes to supply an arrive and drive environment. They will supply everything you need from head to toe safety, from the helmet to the suit to the shoes. All you need to do is fit yourself into the seat and come to the track to race. Each rental includes getting the car to the track, the crew to get you all the input you need, gas, tires, everything. You show up ready to rock. $650 gets you the full night of racing from 2 practice sessions onto the heat race right into the feature event of the evening. You'll also be responsible for a $500 crash deposit. If the car comes back in one piece, you get that back the very same night. Now, if $1,100 right off the rip is too steep for you, no worries at all, because Rent a Race Car is now finally, I've been saying this for a long time, finally offering a monthly payment plan to all of its renters. Be sure to contact them on Facebook with any questions. And always remember, this isn't a ride-along, this is a race.
That sounds such an exciting program. As we've heard us talk about that on this, I've gone there and looked at their website, walked all through it, and tell you what, if I lived in that region and I ever had the aspiration to see what it would be like, I'd be in the seat for sure.
Absolutely, and they do have a fat guy seat. I know that because I used it twice.
Yeah, I think they would need a larger seat for me too. So, NEPS TCMS Memorial, I've been looking forward to this race because I'm so, as you can tell if you listen to these broadcasts, steeped in the heritage of racing, and I just love the fact when drivers, they make connections to their roots, even if in the virtual world they're making connections to the real world. We all knew who Teddy Christopher was. I watched him run Flemington Speedway. I watched Stefanik come down, run Bush North, run pancake cars, and they just, every time they come, people would know, there's TC, man, that guy is amazing. We all knew it. We all respected him.
Rock stars both inside the race car and outside, and man, definitely missed by all of the racing fans throughout the country, not just up here in the Northeast.
Yeah, it looks like these drivers have finished qualifying. The cars are sitting on the grid here, getting ready to pull off here in just a moment. We can probably go through the lineup here. Looking back at the qualifying times for the pole tonight, Ryan Libby in the number 46. On his outside, Michael Hopkins, the 78, will start second. John Peters starts third. Kenny Kibbe in the 15 will start outside row 2, fourth starting position. Evan Blue in the 56 starts fifth. Sixth place, Devin Marhefka. Tim Shinowski in the 07 starts seventh. Corey Casagrande starts in the 8th position. Ninth place, Charles Lewandowski. And Zane Farrell outside row 5, 10th starting spot in the number 49. Hear the engines firing. The 11th starting spot tonight, DJ Gerard in the 81. Wyatt Alexander in the 96 starts in 12th. David Arute, 14 is the car number on the 13th place starter. 14th position goes to Kyle Casagrande in the 7. Matt Chinowski starts off in the 15th position. Outside row 8, Jason Ricker in the number 9. Brian Johus, how do you say that name? Johaus? I'm going to murder a couple of these names here. Starts 17th, Brandon Marhefka. 18th, Michael Bennett in the 64. He's going to start 19th. Outside row 10, Ryan Pasoko in the 74. Dylan Kopik, 09 starts 21st. Brent Roy in the 26 starts 22nd. 23rd starting spot for Pete Yetman. Matt Kentfield in the 76 starts 24th. Thomas Morris in the number 58 starts 25th. Outside row 13, Jeffrey Brown in the 55. The field rolling down the back straightaway. You see a couple of the drivers just wiggling back and forth, trying to get some heat in their tires. They're going to need it, Paul. When you go down into that first turn for the first time, you definitely want to see if you can get the car to stick and cut so you can make the corner and get to the back straightaway.
Absolutely, Kevin. And we're having just a little bit of a technical issue here with the feed of the race, but Kevin's going to be sure to bring you all the racing action as it comes down through the microphone there while we get the video feed back up and running. Just about there. Looks like somebody tripped over one of our wires here and jacked us up just a little bit, but we'll get everything back up and running here, and we will bring you all the racing action live as we get it.
So green flag drops, and Ryan Libby going to take him down into turn number 1, rolling through turn 2 to the backstretch. Michael Hopkins right behind him. They're tucked in nose to tail as they head down the backstretch into turn 3 and 4, and right away we get a little bit of a yellow fever as yellow out. One car did not make it through turns 1 and 2. and they're going to come across the stripe to complete lap number 1 under yellow, and they'll pick up the pace car over on the backstretch.
One of those deals, Kevin, where unfortunately, you may have had just a little bit of a slip up. Can't exactly pull up the replay just yet, but if you could walk us through exactly what went down there. Is it just somebody just not ready for the start, or what happened there, Kevin?
Yeah, it kind of looks like that may have happened right literally on the start, and it's not uncommon. You got 20-something cars coming down, and you get a little bit of an accordion going, and unfortunately somebody made contact with another. I'm going to look to see if I can back that up and figure out what happened there, but we're under caution here for lap number 1.
Lap 1 in the books, but still plenty of time to go, as we've got 55 laps here to find a winner here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Working on getting that video feed back up and running for you folks at home, so bear with us momentarily, get everything back up and get some real race car, well, get some fake race cars on the real screen there.
Yeah, it looks like could have been a problem out in the back for the 21 of Pete Yetman came together with another car. Not exactly sure what took place over there, but we saw 2 or 3 cars tangle in the back, and unfortunately that's going to be a slow start for a couple of those drivers who are going to have to go in and get some damage repair. Maybe the 9 involved. Looks like possibly the 9 of Jason Ricker got sideways coming off the corner, and we'll have to see whether or not that was the caution. Yeah, the 9 and the 61 get together, and that is the reason for the yellow flag. So the field rolling under caution here for the first time this evening. 3 laps in the books, and they got to the back straightaway into turn number 3, and right away everybody got single file. Paul, one of the things that they're going to want to do here is get to the racing lane early until they put some rubber down on the racetrack. You kind of want to get the car settled in, get some heat in the tires, and then start making your charge through the pack.
Absolutely, and this quick little caution here where everybody kind of gets lined up single file gives the drivers an opportunity to get, they know what the car's going to do on the initial start, so that's definitely good news there. Just taking a quick moment here, we do have the video feed back up and running, and just kind of going through our top 10 right now. Ryan Libby, the number 46 car, is the leader, followed by Michael Hopkins, the champ. John Peters is running third. Kenny Kibbe, David Marhefka, Evan Billou, I apologize. Evan 56 is what we're going to call him. I always mess his name up. Zane Farrell in the number 49 car is running 7th. 81 of DJ Girard, he's running 8th. Wyatt Alexander, he's going to be running 9th. And Tim Shanowski running 10th.
Yeah, one of the things I always think about racing this racetrack, and actually a lot of people don't like this racetrack from a sim racing standpoint. It's hard to drive, but I love this racetrack, and what I'm leading to is this is a driver's racetrack. You could care less about the car in front of you and the car behind you. You are all about trying to get your car into the corner, get it to take a set, get it to drive off from the middle into the back straightaway. And if you could figure that out and have this kind of floating balance through the corner, you'll make fast lap times, and then you'll like this racetrack. But I'll tell you what, there's such a thin edge, Paul, in getting that proper feel, getting down into the corner, that a lot of drivers do struggle with this racetrack.
Absolutely, Kevin. This is one of those racetracks that you'll hear drivers talking about backing up the corners, and basically what that means is you're letting off the brake, or you're letting off the throttle rather, way early, and just kind of letting the car coast. It's real flat, almost like Stafford Motor Speedway, and you can basically just let the car kind of float, and then halfway through the corner you don't really mash the throttle, but you kind of ease back into it, and you want to steer the race car with that. As the iRacing pace truck dips on down to pit road, 78 and 46 battling off, and great restart there for Ryan Libby. Looks like he's going to have 3-4 car lengths by the time he hits turn 1.
Yeah, he arcs the car down, goes into what little banking he has. 78 slipped up a little high. That allows the 51 to get down underneath, and they're side by side for second, going down to the back straightaway. In fact, they're side by side all the way back through this pack as they head off into turn number 3. And I see cars way up high and cars way down low and cars through the middle. So the good news is the racetrack is going to take whatever these drivers want as far as picking a lane.
Absolutely, and that's really driver preference and setup preference as well. These guys are basically driving where they're most comfortable, and you got to figure that's going to probably play a factor in later on in the race, because if you've got a guy that's running the high side trying to go for the lead, but the leader's running the high side, well, he's going to have to change up his momentum and change up everything that he's been working on the entire race to try and get around that front leader.
Out front, Libby has a nice, comfortable space over John Peters. Mike Hopkins is running in the third position in the 78, but not for long. Evan Ballou is going to slide underneath in the 56 and take over that position. Right in that mix is the number 22 of Devin Marhefke. His car breaks loose out of turn number 2. He gathers it up and is going up, but he lost a little bit of space as Peters and Livy are able to break away at this point.
There you can see a nice wide-angle shot here. The top 3 broken away. 4th and 5th still there, single file, trying to get away. And then a gaggle of cars behind them battling for the 5th place on back to 10th. A lot of great racing here. These guys are showing a lot of give and take, giving everybody a little bit of room as we got caution out on the speedway.
Yeah, caution number 2 looks like possibly the 10 involved, or 15, I mean.
Looks like the 58 was pointed in the wrong direction, and he's missing, well, it's not quite missing. He's still hanging on by a thread there, but see if we can back up the old kick-ass beef jerky instant replay, find out what went down here. So we can see the 56, the 58 was out of shape just a bit. We'll see how he got there. And it looks like it was just kind of an accordion effect back here in the back of the pack. Pull up the old instant replay and take a quick shot. You can see the orange car, the 13 gets spun around, the 09 Kopech's involved, and man, 68 gets a big shot from the 58, who gets a big shot from that red and black car. I want to say that was the 52. I may be mistaken. But man, a couple of big hits here. These guys don't have any resets. Here you can see Dylan Kopech driving away. The front of that car looks like a modified. Missing almost all of the front quarter panels here on lap 10. And man, it's going to be tough for some of these guys to try and make up some ground here later on in this race.
Yeah, the 58 running down the backstretch, the back TV panel is hanging off the car still. He's going to have to go to pit road and get them to bear upon that to the back of the car. And I would imagine he'll head in to the pits this time around as we see several cars dropping down off to the apron. And they are indeed going the 52, the 9, the 61, and the number 58. That 61 Little Trees car, that's a classic paint scheme. I always remember that car coming when it came to run at our local tracks.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things you'll see here with the NEPS crew, the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Series. These guys love the throwbacks. They love the history of racing, the history of the local tracks and the short tracks, all the different drivers and sponsors and paint schemes and all that cool stuff. And man, it was pretty cool watching the All-Star race here last week. A lot of special paint schemes, a lot of throwbacks, and man, it's really cool to watch these guys because they base this series essentially off of the old Busch North series. And it's really cool to see because you got a lot of guys that have family ties to racing and some guys that race on their own at the local tracks and some guys that are just iRacers. They jump on and do the simulated racing. So pretty cool to kind of get a good mashup of a little bit of everything there, Kevin.
Yeah, so far, Libby having his way. He's able to get out, get into clean air. He's got clear racetrack in front of him. He's just able to hit his marks, and he was able to stretch out a little bit on Peters. But I would imagine Peters is just riding. This is one of those tracks where you want to save your tires a little bit in case you get one of those long runs. You need to make sure you have a little something for the long stretch if that comes to it. And what tends to happen at this racetrack, Paul, is you can get the cars stretched out where they're not in contact with each other, and then everybody does settle in and you get long green flag runs.
And one of those drivers, like you just said his name there, running in the P2's position. Last season's champ, John Peters, he's really good at saving the car. He's not going to go after the attack until he knows exactly when he needs to get up there and get that position. So Ryan Libby's been doing a great job holding on to that lead, but for how long? John Peters is all over the back bumper of that 46 machine. So we're going to see where this restart takes us. Looks like the lights should be turning off here on the pace car, giving us one lap to green.
Yeah, so now I think these drivers understand what the car is underneath them. They're going to double up, but they've had a couple laps under race pace. They've got the car tires up to temperature a little bit, and we did see a couple drivers starting to make some moves. And what I am again going to say, Paul, is we saw some of the drivers. You see the white hash marks on the racetrack. That's typically for the driving schools, if I'm not mistaken. They put them there so that the driving school instructors can tell people where to stay in the lanes. And we saw drivers up to the top of the hash marks and to the bottom of the hash marks through the corners. Nobody has a preference of being like a bottom feeder.
And that's always made for good racing on these flat racetracks. Easy enough for me to say. I'll try that 3 more times. So it's pretty cool to see these guys kind of choosing their own lanes. You see Ryan Libby chooses to restart on the outside, so he's going to have that bottom side full of the number 51 car of John Peters. Pace truck dips off, taking a nice long wait and stretch. Great restart for both the 46 and the 51 side by side as they head on down into turn number 1.
Yeah, actually, the advantage goes to the 46 on the outside. Ryan Libby going to get a good run up off, and he's going to take over the lead coming back in. They were side by side. It was anybody's race into turn number 1, but Libby able to take advantage of the momentum, and he's going to slip out front. But Peters, he's not done. He's down there to the lower quarter panel. He gets a little loose off the corner, and he's going to have to settle in and slip back just a little bit to that second position. It looks like the car loose on throttle coming up off the corner.
And that's always tough. It's a good thing John Peters is patient because I am not. Usually when that happens with me, if I'm loose under throttle, I spin that car right around because I want to get back on the gas, get back up to the front bumper of that car, get to him and get around him. But it's tough to do when the back end of the race car wants to get loose. And you can see right now John Peters doing a great job just running a little bit lower than Ryan Libby, trying to get just a little bit of an advantage there, try and get some clean air on the nose as well. And you can see him, he pulls right up to the back bumper of the number 46. So maybe a little bit quicker at this point in the race. We'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, got my eye on Zane Farrell. He's been able to pick up a couple positions. He was looking inside the number 78 of Michael Hopkins in turn 1 and 2. The car stepped out a little bit. He had to ease out of the throttle and slide back in there, but that car looking a little racy here in the early going in New Hampshire.
A little bit of a different paint scheme there for Zane Farrell. Pretty cool to see him rocking that orange and white 49 machine there. A lot of good racing here. You got side-by-side behind them. DJ Gerard in the 81. He's on top of the 01, Charles Lewandowski. Those guys are side-by-side, almost door-to-door. And you can see the 7 is trying to join that fight, as well as the 07, Kyle Casagrande and Tim Shinowski.
Yeah, Lewandowski able to pick up that position. They're running nose to tail back to about the 10th position. And then the action picks up a little bit back there as cars... what happens, I think, sometimes, Paul, is you get a run down and somebody in front of you has to check up for the car, and that gives you the opportunity to pick a lane to the top, to the bottom, and then you can possibly carry that momentum to a pass. And we see that more often through the middle of the pack, as the drivers out in front tend to have as much space as they want to drive down into the corner and drive off by their choosing.
You're exactly right. Just backing up, a nice wide angle shot here. We're just looking at the only side-by-side battle on the track right now between the 7 car and the 07. It looks like they think better of it and they line back up single file. So these guys just trying to click off some laps. You can see the number 14, David Arute, looking low on the number 7 car of Kyle Casagrande, trying to get up to him, but doesn't look like he's got just enough steam to get up around him.
Yeah, the Tic Tac Chevrolet took a look underneath the Coors Extra Gold car, but unable to get that position. He's going to settle back in. We got one car way up high over there in turns 3 and 4. That's the 78 of Michael Hopkins. He was able to get enough drive off the corner to cover the position, and now he's going to streak off a little bit in front of Zane Farrell. I think, Paul, that conversation that we had just a moment ago about everybody stretching out, then you focusing on running the racetrack, is going to come to fruition here. So the drivers are kind of spread out a little bit. It looks like a conveyor belt here at the New Hampshire Mile.
Ryan Libby's still your leader and doing exactly that. Just kind of making laps at this point, driving the racetrack, racing the racetrack. You want to make sure you get a grip on the racetrack before you really start trying to see what your car can do against everybody else, because it's one of those racetracks where you can be side by side, and if you're not studied up on the racetrack, it'll come right around and bite you in the quarter panel.
Yeah, so the good news for all these drivers, especially the ones involved in that last incident, which had some heavy contact, is everybody's kind of on the lead pace. Scott McDonald in the 44, Jeffrey Brown in the 55, a little bit slower than everybody else. And Brandon Marhefka, he apparently had some damage. He's 2 laps down, but everybody else is on pace. And you can go back to the 24th position of Corey Casagrande. He's only 8 seconds back in contact with the field. So my suspicion is that there's still a lot of laps left in this race. And if you can start playing the strategy card, the possibility is you're trying to look for any opportunities for track position.
Absolutely, and John Peters taking another quick little look on the inside there of Ryan Libby in that 46 machine, thinks better of it, falls back into his tire tracks, heads down into turn number 1. You can see he gains just a little bit of momentum, but then as the drive comes off, you can see the 46 car, a little bit of a wiggle there from the 51, gathers it right back up. Doesn't even look like it slowed him down any, Kevin. So doing a great job with the car control there. And you can see it looks like the 51 is just a little bit quicker getting into the corners, but the 46 doing a fantastic job with the drive off.
That's such a common pattern you see here. You could watch the Cup cars run this racetrack. Like a Denny Hamlin, he goes in slow and Kyle Busch catches him, but Denny Hamlin drives off and is able to keep Kyle behind him. And, this same characteristic showing here for these two is as they go to the back straightaway here, they're looking at the yellow flag, yellow light indicators flashing, and they're all easing off. You can see the flash of unburnt fuel popping out of the side as they roll around here to pick up the pace truck.
Looking some big damage there on the number 676 machine of Matt Kentfield. We're going to see if this back up the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky instant replay, find out why that car's all crinkled up. And you can see it looks like you got a little bit of help here. Pulling up the replay now, giving it to you on your screen. You can see the 21. That's going to be Pete Yetman running on the inside of the number 76, Matt Kentfield, and we'll play this here tape. It looks like looks like guys fighting over the same piece of real estate. I wouldn't say one guy came down, the other guy came up, but hard contact with that outside wall. Number 76, he's got a lot of damage on that car, and that was a front-end hit. You can see the driver's side front, the left front of that tire is kind of wobbly there, so big-time hit, big-time damage for that number 76 machine. We'll see if Kentfield can get that thing on pit road, maybe rip some of that extra sheet metal off. I mean, there's no real such thing as extra sheet metal, but we'll see if he can get any kind of repairs there, but we'll see how strong he can be towards the end of the race.
Yeah, I'm afraid that car doesn't look like it's going to be competitive. It's wrinkled on the front, it's wrinkled on the back. That left front hit was pretty hard, and especially in this sim, when the wheel's not covered and is sticking out there, it becomes an aerodynamic disadvantage. So he's going to spend quite a bit of time with his pit crew over there trying to bang out that number 76 Kendall Chevrolet.
Yeah, there you can see, definitely frustrated. Missed the pit stall a couple of times there, so tough break for the number 76. But back up front, looking like we got a new leader up here. Couple of pit stops, as it were. Taking a look, it looks like the top 6 did not come down pit road. So Kenny Kibbe, the number 15 car, he's going to be your leader. Michael Hopkins is second. DJ Gerard third. Kyle Casagrande fourth. Tim Shinowski fifth. David Arute sixth. Seventh is Mike Bennett. 8th is Matt Shiniski, and 9th is Ryan Prosoko, and 10th is going to go to Dylan Kopech, who we saw got a little bit jammed up earlier on this evening. So this is going to be interesting, Kevin. A lot of these guys up front have been running towards the back, middle of the pack. They're going to stay out front with older tires. We haven't had too long of a green flag run, so I don't know how worn these tires are, but it's going to be crazy watching some of these fast guys toward the back with green, fresh tires trying to come up through the pack.
Yeah, not unexpected. We're round about halfway through this race, and it's a good time to go in and get your tires. If you pit later and get fresh tires, but you're in the back, you don't have track position, it's so hard to pass here. This is a good time to do it. Now the question is, these drivers that stayed out, how much of a disadvantage will they be? And will they come for tires later, or are they going to try and run the same tires through the whole race?
Absolutely, and we do want to take just a quick moment while we've got it here, again, to thank our friends over at RDA, Resource Development Associates. In the life of a business, there's a few opportunities to get something for nothing. With Resource Development Associates, this is actually one of them. RDA helps companies reduce operating costs in unexpected ways based on our expertise and dynamic business efficiency. We study your business operations, develop strategies to reduce the costs along 3 primary channels: conserving energy and energy costs, improving workforce efficiency, and planning for sustained growth and stronger fiscal performance. Remarkably, thanks to funding programs built on a unique business model, our clients pay nothing out of pocket for RDA's services. Pretty cool to have those guys on board. Going to be sponsoring a handful of races here at the New England, Pennsylvania group. And, man, it's you definitely get your dollar's worth with these guys. They put on a great show. A lot of really good guys in here racing. A lot of action-packed racing all throughout the evening. And pretty cool guys to talk to, too. So it's really cool to see when you've got the talent and you've got the voice to back it up.
Yeah, so, Paul, we had a shuffle of the deck here as lead cars are out in the middle now for the restart, and this should make interesting as fast cars in the middle of the track trying to make their way forward. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to step out here and let you finish this, but I will keep an eye on this on the side to see what ends up happening. Is, man, a lot of contact here on this restart. They're banging and beating on each other in the middle of the pack trying to get going.
Yeah, 3 wide towards the back. We're looking at the wide angle shot. Appreciate you helping out here, Kevin. Now you got to step out over to the Sim 500 network. Kenny Kibbe doing a great job trying to hold on to that lead. The number 78, though, he wants it. Michael Hopkins doing a great job right on the back bumper of the number 15 car, side by side behind them. You see Kyle Casagrande trying to hold off the charging 81 of DJ Gerard. Side by side behind them, a little bit of a wiggle there for the 81, but the 07 and the 14, that's going to be David Root on the outside, Tim Shinowski on the inside. 4 wide. Oh, looks like we got a little bit of a mishap here in the back of the pack. There's still 3 wide, even after the wreck. Holy moly, big time action here. Looks like 2 cars are stopped back in turn number 2. See if we can pull up exactly what happened there. Tough break for those guys. Looks like the 56 of Evan Boulier is involved, the 55 of Jeffrey Brown. We're going to pull up the old the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky instant replay, and we'll give you a little view here what happened. And it looks like it may very well just be one of those racing incidents. Going to focus in the number 55 here on your screen, and you can see 3 wide. Well, it looks like the 56 was already around, and the 55 just gives him a little bit of a love tap there. So we'll back that up one more time. We can do that in live racing. It's only a live show. 56 on the outside, 01 of Lewandowski on the inside. You can see 46 of Libby checks up just a little bit. 22 jumps up on the outside. There you see Corey Casagrande. Aha! The 9 car, 4 wide. Zane Farrow gets into the corner panel, spins him out just a little bit, and unfortunately nowhere for the number 56 to go at that point as everybody in front of him stopped abruptly. So, tough break. Looks like just a couple of minor bumps and bruises for the 56 car, and just right in that upper racing groove, so the 55 had nowhere to go. So, tough break. Grabs the gear, spins it on around. Looks like he's going to be restarting on the tail end of the lead lap. Back up front, waiting for the lights to go off on the pace truck. Kenny Kibbe, he's going to be your leader right now. Michael Hopkins, saw him try to get put in a little bit of a challenge there. He's running second. Kyle Casagrande running third. DJ Gerard fourth. Tim Shinowski fifth. David Root sixth. Michael Bennett seventh. Dylan Kopech eighth. Ninth is Matt Shinowski, and 10th, the champ, John Peters. So a lot of these drivers kind of mixing and matching their tire strategy. Some drivers came down, as Kevin made mention before heading out the door there, that some of these drivers came down right around halfway in our last caution there. Got 4 tires, got fuel. Fuel's not going to be an issue too much here, but with the flat track and driving into the corners real hard like these a lot of these guys do, you definitely want to make sure you've got fresh tires throughout the race. Some of these guys are going to try and hold on to the track position. As you can see, looking at the scoring right now, the top 6 haven't come down pit road for tires yet. So it definitely gives Kenny Kibbe a little bit of a cushion behind him, as he doesn't have to worry about anybody coming up on him that's got fresher tires. Giving these drivers the opportunity to just kind of drive around the racetrack at pace speed. Want to welcome you again to the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Group. This is the Teddy Christopher Mike Stefanik Memorial Race here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, live on Vidane TV. Want to make sure that we thank everybody for welcoming us into your homes here tonight, whether you're watching in your bedroom, your living room, your bathroom, out back on the cell phone, wherever you may be watching us. We definitely do appreciate it. We're here to entertain the masses, and entertain the masses we shall. So if you're having a viewing party, a little bit of a watch party, definitely take a picture, give us a thumbs up, show us the screen that you're watching on, and post it on social media. Join the conversation with hashtag Vidane TV. Lights are off on the iRacing official pace truck. These guys are going to line up 2 by 2 all the way through, and it's looking like Kenny Kibbe, number 15, choosing that outside line. As it appears every restart has had the leader choose that outside line. A little bit of an advantage up there as you can kind of open the throttle up just a little bit and get a little bit more grip than you can down there on the bottom side. Michael Hopkins, number 78, check that. It's going to be restarting on the inside of him. DJ Gerard, Kyle Casagrande, and David Root are going to be the top 5 when we come to green. One last tug on the virtual seatbelts. The iRacing pay truck's going to make that hard left-hand turn down pit road. And that's going to be the safety at pit road, because you can see these guys still lined up 2 by 2. Lots of cars still on the lead lap. 26 cars still on the lead lap. 28 cars still in the race. Green flag flies door to door, heading on down to turn number 1. Give the slight advantage to number 15 of Kenny Kibbe, as it looks like, check that, a little bit more grip down there on the bottom side for the 78. Michael Hopkins moved into the lead, but coming out of turn number 2, they're still door-to-door, back and forth here, trying to gamble that position, trying to hold on to that position. You can see the 15 doing a great job on the outside line, holding on, trying to get clear of the number 70. Oh, trouble, the 81 car's around. The 81 gets spun out from the top 5, doesn't see the caution just yet. There it is, caution comes out here on lap 35. See the 81 car grabs a gear, gets that car back to moving. Good news there for the 81 machine. Doesn't look like there's too much damage. Backing up the old kick-ass beef jerky instant replay here to see if we can figure out what went down. You saw it out of the corner of your eyes there as we were showing the live shot. It looks like it might have had a little bit of help there from the number 7, but we'll take a quick peek. You can see the 81 is up in that high line. The 7 kind of comes up. Another one of those instances where the two drivers are just battling for position. One guy on the low side comes up just a bit. The guy on the outside comes down just a little bit. They meet in the middle, and unfortunately there's not enough room there for 2 cars. But not that big of a hit for DJ Gerard. He's going to restart in 26 there. It's going to be the last car on the lead lap. And it appears the 58 of Thomas Morris, 3 laps down currently. He's going to get the free pass and get waved around these cars. So we're under caution again here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Want to take a quick moment here just to thank one of our network sponsors, Rent a Race Car, based out of Berlin, Connecticut. Again, Rent a Race Car is currently booking rides for the 2021 season at Stafford Motor Speedway. If you've ever wanted to try your hand at wheeling a real race car, but you've been unsure where to start, look no further. Rent a Race Car likes to supply an arrive and drive environment. They'll supply everything you need for head-to-toe safety, from the helmet to the suit to the shoes. All you need to do is fit yourself into the seat, come to the track, and race. Each rental includes getting the car to the track, the crew to get you all the input you need, the gas, the tires, everything you need. You just show up ready to rock. $650 gets you the full night of racing, from 2 practice sessions to the heat race, right into the feature event of the evening. You'll also be responsible for a $500 crash deposit. If the car comes back in one piece, you get that back the very same night. Now, if $1,100 right off the rip is too steep for you, no worries at all, because Rent a Race Car is now finally offering a monthly payment plan to all of its renters. And be sure to contact them on Facebook with any questions. And remember, this isn't a ride-along. This is a race. And we want to thank Rent a Race Car, good friends of ours here at Vidane TV, been partners for a very long time, since the beginning as we've been doing the network deal, and all the way back when we were running league races as well with Vidane Racing. And with that being said, Rent a Race Car has actually jumped on as a sponsor for the Sim 500 Vidane Racing Super Speedway Series. That kicks off right here on Vidane TV this Saturday night. Late night show, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. So definitely get yourself a cup of coffee or an energy drink before you come out and watch us. But we're looking forward to that. A lot of these guys from the NEPS League are going to be running. A lot of the guys from the East Coast Winter League, Tim's Corner Motorsports, the RBR Maritime Group, they've all gotten invitations to run with us as well. So it's going to be a big show. A lot of Sim 500 guys and a lot of returning Vidane Racing faces as well, including the defending champ, Jared Bolliard, who sent me a message earlier today. He wants a new nickname. He wants somebody to call him Bolliard Two Belts. So you can bet he's going to come back and try and get that championship belt. Try and rock both the white strap and the red strap belts. But lights are off of the iRacing pace car. Restart's going to look just like the other one. 15 is going to be outside. That's Kenny Gibby. Mike Hopkins down on the low side, the number 78. Lights are off on the pace truck. We're going to get one more opportunity here to warm the tires up, get the dirt and the grit and the grass and all that nonsense off the tires, and make sure that they've got optimal grip as they head down into turn number 1. But last time on the backstretch here. And again, this is really an opportunity for the drivers to refocus, let themselves know that they still have a little bit of work to do. Going to restart here with 15 laps to go. And we've had caution after caution here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, so that's definitely in the back of these drivers' minds. Pace car truck down onto the pace road, pit road there. And you can see we're going to wait for the restart. A lot of these guys will go right when that green flag waves, so you want to be on your toes and ready to go. And there they goes. 1578, side by side, identical restart. Nose to nose, a little bit of an advantage to number 15. You can see he shoots it way up high, trying to arc that in and almost making contact there between the 78 and the 15 car. But you give the advantage to the 78 momentarily. So 15 gets a little bit of a run on the outside line there, and they're all over the place behind them, 2, 3 wide, racing for the top 5 positions. All the way throughout the field, the 64 car, check that. Michael Bennett gets a little bit out of shape. He's up by the wall, gets passed by a bunch of cars, but it looks like he is able to gather it back up, so good news there. Battling still side by side for the lead position. 78 down low, 15 up high. 58 doing, the 15 doing a great job trying to hold off the 78. Both of these guys have older tires, but don't look now. Dylan Kopeck in that 09 car, we saw him jammed up just a little bit early on wreck. He's got fresh tires. He pitted about halfway through, and he's got the champ behind him as well in tow. John Peters in the number 51 car. 46, your leader for the first half of that race in that number 46 car. He's coming. He's going on the low side of John Peters, trying to get around the champ and take away that 5th position. Lots of action throughout the pack. We're going to try and focus in on all of it. But up right now, we're running up front. Battle for 5th position. John Peters, the defending champion. He's going to be in that 51 car up high. Ryan Libby, he led the race most of the first half of this race up until they came down pit road for some fresh tires and some gasoline. He's down on the inside of John Peter. A little bit of a mishap there from the 78. Slipped back down to 3rd place as the 07 of Tim Shinowski moves up to 2nd. Battle is still raging right now for 3rd, 2nd, and 4th, and 5th, and all these drivers. You could throw a blanket right over top of them. You can see Dylan Kopeck trying to get under John Peters, trying to hold him off. John Peters looks like he's got a little bit of a faster car on that outside line, and now the Libby machine of the number 46 is going to jump high. So definitely a quick car there, the 51. John Peters, you can see, gets around Dylan Kopeck, doing it the hard way on the outside. 09 just gets up on the back bumper, gives him a little bit of a tap, lets him know that he's there, and it's nice clean racing all the way through here. Back up front, we're seeing the 15 car. Kenny Kibbe still leading, doing a great job in that clean air, holding on to that race car. About 10 laps to go as they come to the line. This time by the 07 doing a great job as well. Tim Shinowski right behind him in his tire tracks, clicking off laps, because right now he's going to have a mirror full of some really fast cars. One of those cars being the 51. John Peters gets around the number 78. He's going to pull the 46 car with him. That's going to be Ryan Libby, who's going to move into the 4th position as they cross the stripe, give it to Libby, and it looks like he's going to be able to finish off that pass in the corner as he does, sliding the 78 back down to the 5th position. He's going to try and hold on to that bottom line, but it looks like Kopeck is there. Kopeck's got those fresh tires as well, came down about halfway through this race to get those 4 fresh tires. So looks like it's calmed down just a little bit here in the top 5. Everybody's racing single file right now, and you can see the older tires for the 07 car slips that machine up into the high groove. Unfortunate event there, but you gotta hope on that gamble. Probably wondering where all the cautions went. Just speaking of that, caution comes out here, lap 46, and man, that's exactly what the 07 ordered. He's going to get an opportunity to cool those tires off and maybe get them even with some of the drivers that have fresher tires like the John Peters, the Dylan Kopechs. Charles Lewandowski, he's running 7th. Michael Bennett, he dropped back to 8th there after losing the race car just a little bit. Corey Casagrande 9th, and Devin Marhefka 10th. Take a look at the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Instant Replay, see if we can't find out why it is we're under caution here. We're just looking for anybody that may or may not be out of shape, and I'm not seeing anything right off the rip. We'll see if we can pull up the tapes. Here we go. Looks like a little bit of calamity, as we like to call it. Well, some of us do. A couple of our guys, our friends up north of the wall, don't really understand that. But pulling up the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Instant Replay, we're going to focus in. We got the 26, the 0, the 9, the 81, the 74, the 14 of David Arute. And you can see it looks like Zane Farrell gets out of shape, unfortunately. Collects a lot of good cars back here. We're going to see if we can find out exactly what on to Zane. You can see he grabbed the gear, got going again, and he was just side by side, heading down into the corner, and you can see right off the bat he was a little bit loose in the back end of the race car and gets a little bit of a shot there from the 96. Kind of a slow half turn, just a little bit, almost had it saved. Unfortunately, there was another car that wanted that position, so tough break for Zane. You can see there's some pieces and bumpers and all sorts of sheet metal flying all over the racetrack. Going to take a couple of laps under caution to get that taken care of, but man, back up front, still going to be Kenny Kibbe as your leader. So at this point in the race, it looks like we're going to restart with less than 5 laps to go. A lot of these drivers are saying tires. Who needs them? We're going to stay out. We're going to keep this track position and basically use this opportunity to cool the tires down and see if they can pull the cat right out of the bag and see if they can hold off. Kenny's going to try his absolute best here to hold off John Peters, the defending champion, but John Peters, man, he's the defending champion for a reason. He's a man on restarts, and he is a machine when it comes to the strategy, the pit strategy, and everything like that. Tim Shinowski doing a great job holding on to the 3rd position. Didn't take tires all race long, holding on to that track position, so he's looking at a solid top 5 finish. And earlier on, we saw Ryan Libby lead the first half of the race before coming down pit road, so he's raced his way back up into the top 5. And the number 78, saw him just a few laps ago get passed for that 5th position. That's Michael Hopkins. Dylan Kopech, involved in an earlier wreck. He's doing okay. He's running 6th right now. He's got fresh tires, and pretty much everybody from 6th on back has come down pit road at least one time to swap out tires and bang out some sheet metal. You can see the 01 there, Charles Lewandowski. He's running 7th. 64, we saw him get out of shape earlier. The bright orange machine, Michael Bennett, he's doing a great job in the top 10, holding on to 8th. Corey Casagrande, another driver who a little bit of trouble earlier on. He's running 9th, and 10th is going to go to the number 22, the Devin Marhefka machine. Just kind of sifting through the field here. The Little Trees car you heard Kevin talk about. That's going to be Brendan Newhouse in the 11th position. 56, Evan, he's going to be running 12th. DJ Gerard, he's running in the 13th spot. Pete Yetman, the 21, he's running 14th with Jason Ricker right behind him in the number 9. Ryan Pasoko, he's 16th with Brandon Marhefka right behind him in the number 13 machine. 76, Matt Kentfield, we saw him get tore up earlier on. Looks like they got that car pretty well repaired. Looks pretty good. He's running 18th right now. Brent Roy, the number 26 car, is 19th. Zane Farrell, who you just saw get tore up just a little bit, he's currently running 20th. And it looks like, lining these drivers back up 2 by 2, lights are off on the pace car. We're going to get one more restart here. We're going to restart with 4 laps to go here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the Teddy Christopher, Mike Stefanik Memorial Race here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. I'm excited. This is going to be an awesome finish. These guys have put on a show all night long, all season long, really, here at Vidane TV. If you ever wanted to check out some of these guys' races, maybe this is your first time here watching one of the races on Vidane TV, check out our Facebook page, check out our YouTube page. Just do a quick search for Vidane TV, and you can pop up all of the race replays. Check it out on the YouTube page, because like I said, it's 1080p, crystal clear, and definitely worth the watch. But here we go. The pace truck is down pit road. 15 on the outside, 51 on the inside. John Peters versus Kenny Kibbe. Restart with 4 laps to go here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Green flag is out. High five from the pit guy. The flag guy. He's going to let them know that there's 5 laps to go. And a great restart, especially with not having tires. Kenny Kibbe holds on just a little bit. John Peters has a bit of an advantage, pushes up the track just a bit to try and make his car as wide as possible. Heading down, it looks like the Gerard machine are around on the back of the pack. That is more than likely going to bring out a caution. And it does. So that's going to put us into overtime. Green-white checkered finish here as the cars are slowed down one more time. Man, it's going to be tough to get around that John Peters machine as the champ has finally made his way up to that number 1 position. Pulling up the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Instant Replay. Just kind of rewinding the tapes right now. Find out exactly what happened there to the 81 machine. It looks like a little bit of 3-wide action as we've seen throughout the evening. You can see the 81 is down low. The 9 and the 21 are up high. Coming out of turn number 2, I believe it is. Little bit of contact there with the 9 car. Sends him into the outside wall. There you see Zane is involved. The 76, the 13 involved. A little shot there from the 55. And you can see the left front tire is a little bit on the wobbly side and a lot of sheet metal torn off that DJ Gerard machine. So going to be a tough break. I don't know if he's going to have enough time to get any repairs done to that car. But, man, we saw him run up front a little while ago. Looks like he's going to end up outside the top 20 here. It looks like Zane Farrell 20th, Kyle Casagrande 21st, Jeffrey Brown 22nd. DJ Gerard currently falling into that 23rd position. Taking a quick look, it looks like we're only missing 1 starter from this race. The 58 machine, Thomas Morris, has retired from the race, but there's still 26 cars on track, 24 cars on the lead lap. And that's usually what we see here at the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Series. These guys, they race for keeps, and they absolutely put on a great show, and they want to make sure that they're running at the end of the race, because you can't win it on the first lap. And you may not even lead until the last 5 laps. So you can see the champ, John Peters, made his way up to the lead here. Just got around Kenny Kibbe before that caution came out. So we're setting up for a green-white checkered finish here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, the Ted Christopher Mike Stefanik Memorial Race. Here with the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Series, John Peters, the champ, defending champion. He's currently leading, 3 laps to go on the board. Kenny Kibbe second, Ryan Libby third. Ryan Libby led the first half of this race before coming down to get tires at the halfway point under caution. Dylan Kopech still running in a solid top 5 in 4th position. And 5th place is going to go to Tim Shanowski. Lights are still on the pace truck, so these guys are going to have another lap to kind of figure out exactly what it is they're going to do here for the last couple of laps. Do you play defense? Do you play offense? Do you just hammer down and figure out where the car wants to go? You can see a lot of these drivers all the way throughout the pack, weaving those cars in and out, trying to get the temperature up in the tires, getting all the dirt and the grit and the nonsense off of the tires. Even though this is a simulation with iRacing, they do pay a lot of attention to detail. You got to wonder, any first-time viewers that are out there, yes, it is a video game, but these guys put in so much attention to detail with these cars, the way the damage happens, the way the tires heat up and cool down, and any debris or anything like that. So iRacing does a pretty good job about adding to the realism here, and, well, we hope that we do a pretty good job calling the action. You can see the lights are off on the pace truck, so here we go, 3 laps on the board, 2 by 2 all the way through. And another familiar restart. It's going to be the 51. He chooses the inside lane. That's actually a little bit on the unique side. And I wonder if the fresher tires is giving him the confidence to do that. Because all race long, we've seen these leaders choose the outside line. So put John Peters in the 51 machine, starting first on the inside. Kenny Kibbe on the outside. Ryan Libby third. Dylan Kopech fourth. And fifth, Tim Shanowski. Nice and slow down the backstretch one more time. These guys are really trying to focus in, get everything else out of their head, because all that's going to matter is the next 3 laps here on the racetrack. And we're going to take a look and see just how powerful the restarts are for the number 51 machine. As all season long, this season and last season, man, it's just super power moves there on the restarts. And we're going to get a little bit of a taste of that here, because the pace truck's down low, and we're waiting. Green flag is out. Big shot from the 46 car. Big shove trying to get the 51 out of the way. He looks down low. Ryan Libby to the point. Down around the champ, making it look easy. Trying to hold on to that position, but John Peters has more grip on that outside line. Coming down, roaring into the backstretch into turn number 3. John Peters able to hold on, but for how long? Ryan Libby is there. He's got the same tires that John Peters has. So 15, he's stuck outside. He's holding on. Kenny Kibbe not able to hold on to that second position. John Peters going to take the white flag as he crosses the stripe. 1 lap to go here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Ryan Libby has 2 corners to try and get around him, but don't look now. He's already got a mirror full, the number 15 car of Kenny Kibbe. 1, 2, 3, single file right now. John Peters showing us just why he is the champion of this series. Coming into turn number 3, Ryan Libby's going to have one more shot. Looks like he overdrives just a little bit. Tries to get down low. No avail there. John Peters, the number 51. Oh, the 46 car, end of the wall. But the winner of tonight's race, the Ted Christopher Mike Stefanik Memorial 55 here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, going to go to the champ, John Peters. Ryan Libby is going to round out that second position. Does a great job driving through the field there after stopping halfway through to get some tires. Kenny Kibbe, the number 15, you can see the results on your screen right there, finishes 3rd. Tim Shanowski finishes 4th. Michael Bennett 5th. Going through the rest of the top 10, you see Devin Marhefka, Michael Hopkins, Charles Lewandowski, Dylan Kopech slips back to 9th after running in the top 5. And Ryan Pasoko, he's going to be 10th place. Just sifting on through to the results here. Number 11, Pete Yetman in the 21 car. Corey Casagrande finishes 12th. Matt Shanowski finishes 13th. Brandon Newhouse, Kyle Casagrande, Brent Roy, DJ Gerard, Wyatt Alexander, Zane Farrell, and Brandon Marhefka round out the top. And moving on back to the rest of the field, you can see the 21st position is going to go to David Arute, Matt Kentfield, 22nd, Evan B. He's going to finish 23rd. Jeffrey Brown, last car on the lead lap. He's going to be scored with 24th. 9th place, or the 9 car rather, 25th place. Jason Ricker, Scott McDonald, and Thomas Morris going to round out the field here tonight. So fantastic show as always here for the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Group. We're going to take a quick commercial break, pay some bills here, and we will return with an interview with the top 3 drivers. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm CTWE Wrestler The Mac.
And I'm Showtime Stevie Stamos.
Have you ever dreamed of owning your own race car and taking it out for a test drive? Well, thanks to our friends at Rent a Race Car, you can!
Visit www.rentaracecarne.com for all the details on how you can take one of these babies out to Stafford Motor Speedway. We'll see you at the races.
Touchdown!
Here's to the straggly ones, the lopsided ones, the first ones, the I miss my big ones, the hey, I look good with this ones, the he's never grown that numb weak ones, the black, brown, red, and grey ones, the oh whoa, that one, the itchy ones, the never forgotten ones, the ones grown by Dad, the ones grown for Dad, the started late ones, the absolutely filthy ones, the drawn on ones, the finger ones, the badge ones, the I nearly didn't do it this year ones, and the yeah, why not ones. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations, and save lives. Because whatever you grow, will save a bro. Sign up now at Movember.com.
Well, we said we'd be right back after a commercial break, and here we are. We're back here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, back here live on Vidane TV for the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Group, Ted Christopher Mike Stefanik Memorial 55. And not up here alone any longer, joined by the top 3 guys. We're going to take a quick opportunity here to talk to the champ, because the champ is here, John Peters, number 51. John, great race, man. You only led a couple of laps there towards the end. Walk us through that race.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Good to talk to you again. That was rather unconventional from how the others have been. It was a game of strategy and then making your way through traffic with all those yellows. I thought Ryan Libby did an excellent job. Staying pace coming up through. We kind of fought each other throughout the pack after we came into pit around the halfway point of the race, and then we had Kenny to try to get by at the end. So that was tough. That was a big-time challenge, but glad we could pull it off and get another win here.
Yeah, racking up the wins here on Vidane TV here for the NEPS guys, and a little bit of tire strategy. He came down pit road under caution about halfway through the race, got 4 tires it looked like, and really just like you said, just playing chess, trying to get through the field on with the cautions towards the center of the race, or the middle of the race rather. Easy enough for me to say. Man, it was some great racing here. Talk us through the last couple of laps here. You had the mirror full, as you mentioned, of Ryan Libby.
Yeah, pretty tough. And Kenny did a nice job on those old tires, keeping speed. And then I was paying attention to kind of where guys were struggling and where they were better. And I was trying to think through what I would do if I had the lead on a late restart. And I thought I could probably get clear with the lead if I chose the bottom lane. So that's what I did. And thankfully it worked. I got clear off at 2. And then I just had to try to hold Ryan off for a lap and a half. He gave me a good run for it, but was able to do it. And I specifically pitted early on there because I did not want to beat Kenny at the end of the race, the only guy out there on old tires. So glad to see that worked out, but certainly a challenge and a pretty fun race.
Couple of different strategies up front, and it looks like tires prevail here tonight. Who gets it done for the Champs car, the number 51 machine?
Big thanks to Vidane for putting this on. Big thanks to tonight's sponsor of the race, Schiff Marketing and Design. Cool to honor Ted Christopher and Mike Stefanik in this Mike Stefanik paint scheme. Thanks to my parents for watching. Shout out to my dad. Thanks to my girlfriend and my dog here for letting me do it. Shout out to Patty. I know she's watching tonight. And then thanks to Rental North America, Libby Septic, Turn 4 Automotive, 4 Season Synthetic, and Digby's Variety. Pumped to get back to a weekly schedule here, and we'll try to do the same thing at Thompson next week.
Absolutely, and you'll be able to see that. I believe we're here live on Vidane TV next week with a little bit of a tape delay show. We're actually going to be watching that race Saturday, so we're going to have some pretty cool action going on there, where you're going to be able to talk and chat with the drivers as we watch these the broadcast race. So that'll be pretty cool. But we're going to switch on over here. Ryan Libby also took tires about halfway through there, finished second here in the number 46 machine. Ryan, talk us through your race.
Yeah, it was a pretty good race. Start out front and just kind of judging by the mirror, I knew Peters was back there and Kibbe was back there. And, pit strategy, it was either you're going to take tires or you weren't going to take tires. And the way the tire fall off was, to me, by lap 30, you had to take tires. And then, of course, coming back through the field, like what Peters was saying, it's a game of chess. And I kind of knew it was Peters, Kibbe, myself, where if we did take tires, whoever was in front of the other guy was probably going to win the race if they got back out front. New Hampshire is known for very hard to pass. As you could see in the race tonight, there's guys in the bottom. These cars, you lose the nose and you just start sliding up. And then you're sliding up and, you're using 8 tires instead of 4 now, which you don't want to do. And there's certain, events tonight where I got underneath some people, and if I wanted to push the issue, I could have, but I don't usually race like that. So, New Hampshire's tough because when you're coming off the corner, you're also loose off. So, it's kind of a game of getting in easy and, off easy, but you still got to be fast. But, yeah, it was a game of chess, and, Peters, we were racing back there trying to get around guys, and he just got out front. And, with the last green, white checkered, I tried to stick a nose in 1 and 2, but, like I said, if I want to push the issue, I could have, but, Peters and I, we run really clean together. We run hard, but we run clean for the most part, so, yeah, congratulations again to Peters, and then Kenny Kibbe also, he runs me clean, and for the most part, it was a pretty good race.
Yeah, and we saw that towards the end. One guy's faster coming into the corners, the other guy's faster going off, and then they'd flip-flop on the very next lap. So great racing, a lot of respect for these drivers back and forth. Always fun to see, and you get that a lot here with the Thursday night races here with the NEPS boys. And who gets the 46 car to and from the track every week?
Yeah, just like to thank Phillips 66, Vidane TV. You guys are great at broadcasting as usual. And I'd like to thank NEP and Shift for putting the league on.
Awesome. Another great run for the 46 machine of Ryan Libby. Not done yet. We're going to shift on over to the third place driver, third place finisher. This guy's got to be tired. Kenny Kibbe ran the entire race, 55 laps, no tires, and definitely seemed like it showed the last 10 or so laps. Kenny, walk us through your race.
Yeah, I mean, I coming into this race, I wasn't hugely confident. This is probably one of my weakest tracks on the schedule. So when we had that first green flag run, I really didn't have the pace of the top guys, so I needed to do something different than them. And with all the chaos that was going on in the middle of the field, I just wanted to keep the track position. So decided not to take any tires and kind of made my bed with that one early. And surprisingly, a lot of people didn't pit that first caution with me, which was helpful, but came up just a little bit short, but I'm still happy with a third place run.
Yeah, absolutely. We figured we were going to see maybe put on some tires later on in the race, but it seemed like after those couple of quick cautions there, we had a long green flag run from the middle of the race on. So at that point, you don't really want to give up the track position just to try and put on tires and maybe get caught up in something towards the back of the pack. So definitely a good call there. You did a fantastic job holding on to that third position. Who gets it done for the 15 machine? Who would you like to thank here tonight?
I'd like to thank everybody at NEP, the Shift Marketing and Design, the new sponsor RDA that's jumped on board of this series, and everybody just for letting me race with these guys every week. It's a real fun league and like a new challenge for me every week. And you guys at Vidane TV for what you guys do with the broadcasts, and kind of cool to see John Peters actually win this one. Hate losing to the guy over and over again, but with him running a Mike Stefanik scheme in the Mike Stefanik race, that's pretty cool. So yeah, we'll head to Thompson. I had a road course commitment I was going to be doing, but I'm out of that, so I'll be here next week and we'll head to Thompson and see what we can do.
Cool deal. Fantastic run there, especially with not having tires. Did a great job holding on to that third position. That's going to be Kenny Kibbe, and that's going to be the top three drivers that finished off here the Ted Christopher Mike Stefanik Memorial 55 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Pretty much going to wrap it up here for us tonight. Just going to take a quick look at the upcoming events here on Vidane TV. Off tomorrow night gives us an opportunity to kind of reload a little bit, and man, oh man, Saturday night, I am excited. Why am I excited? Because Vidane Racing, not Vidane TV, Vidane Racing is back on track. Big, huge, massive collaboration with Sim 500, Vidane Racing, the Super Speedway Series, kicking off the Rent a Race Car 150. That's going to be at Daytona Motor Speedway, 10:30 Eastern start. We're going live. We're carrying it. We're doing heat races, doing qualifying time trials. Man, oh man, it's going to be tight. Championship belt, that's going to be in hand. It's in the mail right now. It should be getting off the UPS truck in my hands tomorrow. So be sure to check out the Vidane TV Facebook page tomorrow night, as we're going to do a very live unboxing of that championship belt. And the last two have been fantastic quality there from Pro-Am belts. Ian Plash winning the first one back in 2014. Jarrett Bolliard winning the 2020 championship back in April. And we finally did get that belt to him after it got lost in the mail. So that's going to be exciting. Be sure to check that out. Next week is booked up. We're racing every single freaking night of the week. Tim's Quarter Motorsports Super Late Model 300. Qualifying events Monday through Thursday. And the big show, the 300 miler, is going to be on Friday night. And don't tell anybody I told you. It's going to be at Oxford Plains. So going to be some pretty good racing there. Definitely check that out. NEPS, we're going to do a doubleheader next Saturday. That's going to be the Thompson race you hear these guys talking about, the Casa Grande 75. Going to run that at 8:15. The guys are going to run the race on Thursday. We're going to do the broadcast Saturday night. So that's going to be pretty cool. I'm going to try and get a lot of these drivers in the chat so you can chat along with your drivers and ask them what the heck were they thinking when they made this move. And then race number 2 for the Sim 500 Vidane Super Speedway Series at 10:30 that Saturday. So pretty cool to see. We got a full schedule going on here. Definitely be sure to pull up the entire schedule at vidane.net/events, and that'll give you a nice big calendar with all the different leagues and races that will be going through here. But that's going to wrap us up here at Vidane TV, here for the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Group. Thank you guys so much again for welcoming us into your homes. We hope we entertained you, and we hope you're going to come back next time when we do it live. We'll catch you next time.